What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday, or actually, I'm just completely off. Happy Tuesday, December 19th. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. Today, we're going to be talking about some sort of top crypto market being near. I've been talking about this the last couple of days. I've been saying how I feel like we're getting near some sort of top. I know a lot of you agree with me as well, how the market has been really interesting, I would say, to the least. You know, we had a really great month of October, really great month of November, and ever since then we have just been ripping every freaking day, right? How's it going, Dad Master? Hope you're having a good one today, bro. And as much as we want the market to continue to dip forever, or pump forever and make new all-time highs, it is very dangerous to be at the levels that we're in today. How's it going, Happy? Hope you're having a good one today. Thank you for joining me today. And right now, this is kind of what I'm seeing with the market, right? We're at these levels where I feel like we're at way too much freaking euphoria. I think people are getting way too hyped up, which I believe we shouldn't be in the space right now, right? We shouldn't be too hyped up. We shouldn't be too excited right now with the market. If anything, we should be more have more awareness in the market and be a little bit more concerned than usual, right? How's it going, Goldie Crypto? Great to go ahead and have you here today. Congratulations on all your plays. I know a few of your plays that you talked about, I believe it was last week, actually did really well. I think Bobo pumped like crazy, so congratulations on that, Golden Crypto. But yeah, so Soul, how's it going? Thank you, Soul. Thank you. So I wanted to talk about that today. You know, my thoughts on some signs that we're seeing in the market overall that we could be reaching or being near some sort of top. Doesn't mean that the bull market's over. It just means that we could be seeing some sort of temporary crash into the market, and it'd be more of a dump. I want to go ahead and use my terms, a dump. That will definitely go ahead and panic some people. People will go ahead and overreact, and then I believe the dip's going to be bought out, and then the market is going to continue to make new all-time highs, right? I'm really bullish on the year of 2024. A lot of people have been really bearish. I believe 2024 and 2025 is going to be a really important time for us in the market. So with that being said, there is some warning signs that we have been getting in this market since early November, right? Right now, we just haven't corrected. We need a correction in the market. And I feel like a lot, even if you go on to a lot of the YouTubers, like a lot of the big YouTubers are now talking about bonk. You know, this is going to be the next Pepe, and these are signs that we typically get when there's some sort of top in the market, right? We've seen this multiple times with multiple projects. And I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a few examples of when we saw a lot of these big influencers on YouTube talk about certain projects. And this is why, I like to go ahead and talk about these projects before the bigger influencers do, because if we're willing to take the risk on right now with a lot of the smaller cap altcoins or meme tokens, then you and I are going to benefit the most when the big YouTubers start talking about it, right? But that's usually the time where we want to be selling our tokens, not financial advice, but typically that means we're near a top, right? With that being said, if you're watching this pre-recorded, go ahead and smash that like button for me if you haven't yet already. If you're watching this live right now with me, I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Good morning, good afternoon. I apologize for these last couple of days I haven't been streaming. I was out on vacation, just got back last night. I was supposed to stream yesterday, but I was like super exhausted. I was like, I need some sleep. So, the time difference too has kind of messed me up. But what I could go ahead and tell you is that you won't be expecting, much vacations from me anymore. Kind of over this freaking holiday season, but happy holidays to everybody. I just feel like it's been such a freaking busy month. Like, it's always something new, you know what I mean? It's always someone's birthday, some sort of holiday, some sort of get together. I'm kind of over it already. I want 2024 to begin because I also want this bull run to begin, and I also just want to focus on the channel, and I just want to focus on providing you as much value as possible. So I'm really excited for the year of 2024. I know that's when holiday season kind of starts declining and we're back on the grind mindset, and that's really what I'm excited for. And I'm actually excited to go ahead and be here today. So welcome, everybody. Goldie Crypto says, yeah, Bob. Congratulations on Bob. Goldie, are you still holding on to it, by the way? Ryan, how's it going, Ryan? Hope you're having a good one, man. Take care. Hope you're having a great evening today. Dwayne, hey, John, do you still feel like Pepe will run next year? Yeah, I totally feel Pepe will still run. We actually have a few things going on right now with Pepe 2.0 as well. It looks like they're coming out with a new contract. So I guess if you're a holder of Pepe 2, you definitely do not want to go ahead and miss out on the news that I will be talking in today's live stream. So smash that like button. Some big changes are coming to Pepe 2, right? Just to go ahead and break it down for you, it looks like the team is actually moving to a new contract, so they're going to go ahead and get rid of their current contract right now. They're going to be moving into a new contract, and they're going to be moving out of exchanges. So if you're a holder of Pepe 2 and you're holding on to Pepe 2 on these exchanges, you definitely do not want to miss out on this live stream that I have to talk to you about today. And I will be talking about it throughout this week, just to go ahead and get a reminder for all of you, so you won't miss out on what's going to be going on with Pepe 2. But if you want to go ahead and support the channel, pretty long intro, go ahead and make sure to use my MEXC link down below on the live stream. You can go ahead and get up to $20,000 in sign-up bonuses, no KYC, and literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. This is one of the best ways to go ahead and support me on my channel. If you want, you know, obviously it does help benefit me, but as I mentioned, it's optional if you want to go ahead and help me out with that. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on with the market, right? We're going to go talk about what are my thoughts with, you know, Pepe, what are my thoughts with Bonk, what are my thoughts with Bitcoin, what are my thoughts with everything overall, right? Something we really need to go ahead and focus on. Let me drink some water. I apologize for that. See, we have a little bit over 12 viewers right now. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Only 5 likes right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So currently right now, Bonk, right? Everybody and their mom's getting excited about it. You know, we saw literally Bonk hit some crazy freaking numbers. And congratulations to all of you that jumped in, right? We were actually trading Bonk back in November. So we actually made some really nice gains. I didn't take advantage of the 13 billion market cap that I ended up getting, but I did make some money on this project, right? So I'm not too sad or disappointed of where things are going. Do I feel a little bit, you know, kind of a little disappointed that, you know, I didn't take advantage of the massive pump that I had? 100%, you know what I mean? But you can't always go ahead and catch every pump on every token. I thought Pepe 2 was going to be the one. It turned out like Bonk was the one, right? So this is the reason why diversifying is really important. Dab Master just gave us some alpha right now. Suave. Hey John, CQQ is pumping hard. We'll definitely go ahead and look into CCQ. If you could go ahead and provide the smart contract down below, that'll be really helpful. Black Ranger, how's it going, my guy? I hope you're having a good one today. Dab Master says, good Solana coin, extreme degen, 30K market cap. Awesome. We're definitely going to go ahead and take a look at that, Dab Master. I appreciate you for being here today. So anyways, chat, for all of those that are tuning in right now and you want to go ahead and show some tokens, go ahead and make sure to provide the smart contract down below, and then it would be a lot easier on my end to go ahead and pull up the token for all of us to go ahead and review, right? So let's go ahead and start talking about what I had in mind, right? Before I go ahead and forget, then we could go ahead and start talking about all these tokens. But my thoughts about this Solana, about what's going on, right? CCQ Inu. I don't have CCQ Inu, bro. So if you could go ahead and provide the smart contract for me, that'd be really helpful. And post it on the live stream. Anyways, let's go back to what I'm talking about before I forget. Okay, so my thoughts about what's going on in the market, right? I feel like we're getting close to some sort of top in the market. As I mentioned, it doesn't mean that, you know, the bull run's over. It just means that we need a correction, right? Currently right now, looking at the fear and greed chart, we do see the greed is currently still at 73 at a greed. I will be actually live streaming later on today as well. This will be updated in the next 2 hours, but I will go ahead and check into this later on today on our next live stream. But overall right now, greed is very high, right? Which is not really that good of a sign. Looking overall at the crypto bubbles, market's kind of whatever. It's nothing too crazy, nothing to panic about. And you're like, hey John, like what's the sign that you're getting that you feel like we're getting near top, right? Like everything's pumping. Why are you being bearish all of a sudden since you've been making these videos about 100K Bitcoin, right? Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that question, right? If you were asking that question. The reason why I'm starting to get bearish is due to the fact that this market has been pumping for too long, right? We've been pumping since November. A lot of people have made a lot of freaking money. A lot of you have lost a lot of freaking money like myself. Bonk right now is top 56, top 100 coins. You can't make this thing up. It literally hit a 1-point-something billion market cap during not even a full bull run, right? Like the bull run hasn't even started. I've actually saw it go as high as 2 billion market cap. And the reason why I'm getting a little bit more concerned now with what is going on with the whole entire space overall is not just the fact that we're having these meme tokens take off, but the fact that Bitcoin hasn't really done much, right? We could actually go all the way back right here, and we all know that Bitcoin doesn't really matter to us too much due to the fact that, you know, typically if Bitcoin goes down, that's when altcoins and meme coins go up. But I was talking to all of you these last couple days, and I mentioned that on the monthly, let's go ahead and take a look at the monthly so we could see this chart a lot better. Actually, we can't. So it looks like daily, it's the best for us. So we actually go ahead and take a look at the daily on Bitcoin. And we go far way back, all the way back to our previous bull run, right? Back in 2020, right? We saw Bitcoin literally go from as low as $7,000 as high as $33,000, $42,000. $41,000, just say $7,000 or $4,000, right? Literally just went from all the way from March all the way literally to January. So almost a whole year that Bitcoin just pumped. It did have corrections though, right? It did have many corrections here in between. It had all of that. But if you actually go back right here, Bitcoin hasn't really had any major corrections. I mean, look at when the bull run, I guess if you want to call it the bull run, started on Bitcoin, right? We could go ahead and see in October. This is where we were making so much freaking money on a lot of these meme tokens. Ethereum was one of them. Pepe was doing really good at this time. This is when the token started to reverse, right? And I was talking about how bullish I was with crypto during this time. I was even talking about how bullish I was on Bitcoin around this zone right here before I had this breakout. I told everybody there was a high probability a short squeeze was going to happen. And that's exactly what happened, right? We had a short squeeze. That was going to happen, and a lot of people were calling for Bitcoin to dump all the way down to $10,000 and below. I was laughing. I said, you know, that's super risky. I wouldn't do that, but to each his own. I said there's another high probability we might have another short squeeze of Bitcoin going back up. And guess what? We did. We had another short squeeze, right? Was I trading Bitcoin? No, I wasn't trading Bitcoin, so it didn't really benefit me that much, but I was looking at Bitcoin to make my trades. With that being said, Bitcoin has been pumping since October, literally all the way up to now, all the way from $40,000. So if you see Bitcoin from $26,000 all the way up to $44,000, non-stop, literally, like, tell me what corrections have we really had with Bitcoin? Tell me. What corrections have we had? A 7% correction, a 6% correction. We haven't had no major correction, right? With that being said, if we go back to what I was talking about back in the bull run, Bitcoin began a pump, let's just say from $7,000, or if you want to say from here, this is where it found its support, from $10,000 all the way up to $41,000, which was this top right here, right? As soon as it reached that top right there, guess what happened? Well, Bitcoin dumped about 30%. So, and I was actually talking about back in November how we need the market to correct at least with a 30% correction. Like before I even knew about this chart, right? Like I just kind of told all of you, we need a correction in this market back in November, or towards the mids of November when I got wrecked on Grok, because I've started to realize there's a lot of greed going into the market. And right now, this is exactly what we're getting. Bitcoin has just been ripping. People have lost hope with, you know, at one point we're betting against Bitcoin at these levels right here. Now, Bitcoin just continued to make new all-time highs. Shorts were getting liquidated. Now we're getting to a market where a lot of the people that were bullish like myself are now starting to be a little bit more concerned. And really, I don't want to say we're panicking, but I'm saying we're a little bit more concerned of where the market's going, right? Everybody that was bullish on Bitcoin at the levels right here, all the good traders were super bullish around this area right here. We were talking about Bitcoin being bullish, right? As soon as we started to have these breakouts, we began to be bullish, but now we're being a little bit more concerned about what's going on with the market, right? Because we were bullish at the zones right here, but when the market actually starts being at a direction that we wanted to see, that's actually where we want to kind of be taking a step back and realizing, okay, what's going on the charts, right? Obviously, from the long-term perspective, Bitcoin's bullish. I think 2024 and 2025 is going to be a good year. Doesn't mean that we can't see some sort of market correction, right? And right now we're seeing a lot of these YouTubers talk about, these bigger YouTubers talk about bonk, talk about some sort of, you know, meme coin season starting, altcoin season, $100,000 Bitcoin. We're getting all the crazy titles right now in the market, right? So I feel like we're in some sort of euphoric phase now that we're getting into. Let's go ahead and check out the market cheat sheet. check this out. And we talked about this chart before as well, right? I feel like we're getting towards these levels where we have to be super concerned now, right? As much as I don't want to, I feel like we might be in this temporary phase in the market at around this thrill to euphoria. I feel like this is where Bitcoin's at right now, and the market overall it's at right now. Because, you know, when you and I were trading and we were making money, we were right here. We were talking about all the tokens at these zones right here, the depression, the disbelief rally, and we were around over here at this zone. Even if, let's say, Bitcoin, because we have very small market cycles like the ones that we're looking at right now, right? If you think about it, if Bitcoin does correct, which everybody should be cheering for, because that would mean that we'd be able to buy up the dips and we don't have to really panic too much on where the market's going. The reason why you should be panicking right now is because the higher the market goes, just know the riskier it gets. Meaning, if we don't find some sort of correction with any of the tokens that we talk about, whether it's Bitcoin or altcoins or meme tokens, the higher it goes, the higher it's going to freaking drop. And the harder and higher it drops, the more people are going to panic and they're going to overreact, taking us to levels in a market that we don't want to go ahead and see, right? For example, right now with Bitcoin back over here in 2020, we ended up having to pump from, let's just say, $10,000 to $41,000, had a 30% retracement, and from that 30% retracement, then it pumped from $29,000, making, I guess, close to new all-time highs, which was at $64,000, right? Super bullish. This is where you and I want to be loading up on our tokens, right? If you weren't buying any of the meme tokens or any of the altcoins, or you weren't longing any positions at these zones right here, the last thing you want to be doing is longing right here. This is the last thing you want to be doing, because this is like exactly what everybody's doing right now. Everybody's getting so hyped up and they're putting in so much risk because they believe the bull run is back. And that's typically what the best traders want you to think that's going to happen, right? They want you to think that Bitcoin's going to go ahead and hit $100,000. Does that mean Bitcoin's not going to hit $100,000? No. I believe Bitcoin's going to hit $100,000, but I don't think it would be until 2024 to 2025. I don't think it's going to happen like in the next 2 weeks, right? And the kind of sentiment that we're getting in the market, when no one wants to buy the tokens, this is where you and I made the most money, right? We were making a lot of money on a lot of the tokens that we talked about at these zones right here, when nobody cared about it, when no one wanted to talk about it. When we want to start selling is at these tops right here. We don't want to be buying these tops, right? Because now we're getting at riskier territories where as soon as it does continue to take off and we do buy in because we believe the market is going to continue to go up, it's going to go ahead and dump. And most of these projects are going to die off, all right? So a lot of the meme tokens that we're in, typically, even when we see crypto or Bitcoin, you know, take a dump, obviously altcoins and meme coins begin to pump. But typically, sometimes if it's a scary kind of dump, the market kind of overreacts and people panic sell. And we start seeing a lot of these tokens dump from 50, 60, 80%, and they never recover, right? And with that being said, right now, what our main focus should be is, where is the top of Bitcoin, right? Is this going to be the top, temporary top for Bitcoin, right? Because even as I mentioned, after it found its top in Bitcoin back in 2020, right here, it was literally in the zone for about a couple days. If you actually go ahead and measure it from here, it was consolidating in this phase after it dropped for about 21 days. So you can say roughly after Bitcoin found its top, it had 21 days before finding its next leg up to the upside, right? So you can say roughly we'll have some sort of crypto Bitcoin correction at like 30% retracement. Then we're going to have like a 30-day consolidation before having a next breakup to either the upside or to the downside, right? The reason why I'm mentioning this and the reason why I'm giving out this warning is because if this is the top, or we're getting near the top of Bitcoin, the last thing a lot of us want to be doing is buying the tops of the market, right? Because if there's a correction and all we have to do is just wait a couple more days or a couple more weeks while we stack up on money, and we do get this 30% correction on Bitcoin, which I'm really crossing my fingers for, this is going to give us not only two good signs, right? One of the first signs being we are officially in some sort of bull run if we have Bitcoin correct 30% and then we have it react pretty nicely to the market. So even if you go ahead and measure, let's say Bitcoin can realistically still pump, right? So I don't want to go ahead and tell you that it doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't go ahead and reach the levels of $60,000 and then correct to the 30% retracement. Bitcoin could do whatever Bitcoin wants to do, right? I'm just giving you the warning that for me personally, moving forward, I'm not going to be investing into this market until we have the correction. And I hope I don't miss out on the run, right? Because realistically you could. And this is kind of like the warning that no one really knows, right? No one really knows where the tops or the bottoms are in the market. But what I do know is that listening to very good traders and listening to traders I respect, traders, not freaking YouTubers that just talk about hype tokens and try to get you hyped up. I'm talking about real actual day traders that trade this market, right? From the people that I'm listening to that I respect, they're also giving warnings of some sort of top being near. They don't know where the top is, but they are saying that we are at very critical areas, right? So I've been saying this for a while with my information back in November. Now I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable understanding where the market's really heading because now we have the DXY giving us more signs. And now I'm also having a lot of the traders that I do respect coming with a very similar conclusion with what I'm saying on the market, that the market is getting super hyped up, that more than likely more retail traders are going to get wrecked. And that's what I could go ahead and tell you, right? So if Bitcoin does lose the support at $40,000, we could go ahead and see Bitcoin retrace down to 30%, which I believe a 30% retracement will take us to around $30,000 Bitcoin, right? Maybe even, yeah, $30,000 Bitcoin, I believe, would be the number, unless this is where the retracement already started from. Let's say the retracement started from 44,000 all the way to a 30% retracement will take us to a $31,000 Bitcoin. So I think a $31,000 Bitcoin is not bad. Even if we do break down to a $30,000 Bitcoin, we are still bullish long term, right? So I don't want to go ahead and be here and try to panic anybody or scare you, but what I'm trying to say is that we should go ahead and be a little bit more concerned of where the market's going and not be too hyped up, right? Because even if we do have this correction right here, I do believe we're going to see some shake up in the market, and we're seeing some tokens right now taking off in the meme coin sector, but we're also seeing some of them dump, right? We have SAMO, obviously, 40% is typical in the meme coin sector, but we're seeing a little bit too much bullish sentiment in my opinion. We're seeing too many tokens pump. We're seeing too many people being a little bit too bullish, which to me is a really red signal for me. That's a signal telling me that we are reaching some sort of top, right? And with that being said, because I don't want to go on for ages talking about this. Oh, you're talking about Cock Inu, Swabi. I remember you mentioned about that. Yeah, I know you were talking about that. So check this out, chat, before I forget, right? Because I'll definitely forget about what I'm saying, and I think this is some very fire information with what I'm coming up with, right? And this is just a warning. I don't want you to panic. I don't want you to be scared. You know how I've always been. I really don't care what people think when it comes to certain tokens. I'm here to give you my opinion on what I think in the market, what I believe is going to happen, and then you can go ahead and come up with your own conclusions, right? I'm not here to go ahead and choose sides of a bullish and a bearish side of the market. I'm not bullish. I'm not bearish. I'm a little bit in this neutral phase where, as I mentioned, these are huge warnings you should be aware of, right? And I don't want to be the person in the next couple weeks, couple months to be like, hey, look, I told you so. You should have maybe start, not putting too much risk into the market, right? So that is just a warning that I'm giving you. Just be aware. Take profits on projects that you can. As I mentioned, even on the projects, there could be a lot of projects retracing, and maybe you could even get back to a better entry, right? But right now we are at very risky territories, and backing this up with the information that I just provided to you, we could back this up with the DXY as well, right? Which we're going to actually talk about, because the DXY is very important when it comes to trading the crypto market. And if you zoom out, and I just want to give you the bullish scenario, if you zoom out on Bitcoin, even if we have those retracements that I mentioned, Bitcoin is still bullish long term in the year 2024 and 2025. So $100,000 Bitcoin is really realistic. I'm not giving you anything to be panicked about. I don't want you to be scared. I don't want you to have that kind of mindset. I want you to have the mindset of thinking of hoping for this dip to happen to start buying up a lot of the tokens that we've been talking about, right? I think this will be a massive buying opportunity for a lot of us, and this is the reason why I'm excited. I'm going to be patiently waiting, right? Because after I got wrecked with Pepe 2 on that liquidity grab, I was like, okay, that's enough. I've already had 2 liquidity grabs happen really bad. Grok 2.0, or sorry, Grok being one of them, when they pretty much grabbed me for like 20,000, and then Pepe 2.0 that just grabbed me about last week for not that much. I think it was about $1,200 or something like that. But with that being said, that is giving me signs that the market is definitely getting some very risky territories, right? We literally had the market wipe out 200 something million longs, and the market just recovered and bought the dips that quickly. It really tells you how over leveraged a lot of people are, right? And this is a really risky sign in the market, in my opinion. As I mentioned, long term, Bitcoin looks bullish. Nothing to worry about. Let's now go ahead and head over to DXY, and then we can go ahead and start talking about all these other meme tokens and start talking about what we could be, looking at for some bullish scenarios. But let's go ahead and take a look at the DXY, right? The DXY, this is where I began to really load up on crypto myself, was around this zone right here. It was around this time in the market right here is when I started to load up on crypto, right? Why? Because I knew the DXY was going to get rejected. I knew the DXY was going to drop down to these levels. That's why I was really, really bullish on the market when nobody else was. I was talking and calling for $40,000 Bitcoin. If you've been watching a lot of my videos, you should know all this information, right? I was talking about altcoin season. I was talking about all of this before anybody else did. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm not here to freaking call every top and bottom 100%. I'm just here to provide you my insight of what I see and what I believe, and then you come up with your own perspective, and whether you want to follow it or not, that's up to you, right? But so far, I've been able to call a lot of things in the market. You know what I mean? We were in this market before anybody started getting hyped up. When everybody was the most freaking bearish in this market, guess what? John was the most freaking bullish. Now that the market's so freaking bullish, guess what? I'm bearish now. So you can kind of see the correlation of where things are going. I don't like to go ahead and follow what the herd are doing, right? The herd right now are definitely overly freaking bullish, while we're getting signs of the market that we shouldn't really be too bullish, right? Let's look at this, for example, right? So we have the DXY right here that we've been talking about. There's multiple scenarios that we could go on with the DXY. We could go ahead and have the DXY reverse at the zones that we're in right now, and then break above 103, which I think is going to get rejected, right? I think overall the DXY could go ahead and come back down to the 99, which would actually be really, really bullish for crypto, right? Which means Bitcoin will probably break 55,000, and we might not even have a correction just yet. Maybe Bitcoin just takes off and hits $100,000, which I really doubt, but I think Bitcoin could hit, if it breaks back to $45,000, I think it will go ahead and take off and touch $50,000, and then from $50,000 probably retrace with a 30% retracement, right? So realistically, I don't know where the top is. I'm just giving you a warning that a top looks like it's going to be near, right? Right now with the DXY, we are getting some sort of reversal. I don't think the DXY is going to get rejected in here and then come back down to the 101 and the 99. I think it's possible. The only problem that we get into is that we've seen that when the DXY does reach the levels down right here on the RSI being oversold, we typically see crypto pump like crazy, right? So you're like, John, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that realistically we could go ahead and have Bitcoin hit $50,000 and kind of snap all of us by surprise, right? And be one of the biggest freaking traps that we could see coming into the market, meaning they'll go ahead and push the price action to $50-something thousand Bitcoin, $60,000 Bitcoin, and then wreck everybody all the way down. The DXY right now is actually getting rejected right now at the 102, right? So we're going to go ahead and see the DXY continues to go up. If the DXY goes up to the 104, 103, we're more than likely going to get rejected and retest the levels at the 99. If the DXY just dumps from here and just continues to dump all the way down to the 99, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to continue to pump, right? So pretty much what that means is that with what I just said, it's kind of off to the door, meaning that Bitcoin's going to go, cryptocurrency is going to pump, and my analysis is not going to hit what I'm going to miss out on some sort of run, right? And right now, the warning that I'm giving you is just be careful with what you see in the market. Just be careful. Like I think right now your main focus should just be stacking up some USDT on the side, buying the dips on some of your favorite tokens, and let's say if the scenario of the DXY reversing and reaching these levels of the 103 and above, which would cause crypto to dump, then now you could go ahead and buy the dips, right? But let's say, for example, if the analysis of the DXY continuing to dump, and let's say this is the big crash that everybody's been waiting for, which I highly doubt it, but let's say it is, then you're going to make a lot of money. You're not going to go ahead and miss out on the market. But both cases, you're not really risking too much. But if you are, let's say, for example, all in right now, risking everything and thinking that this thing could continue to pump and it does dump, you're going to get wrecked. And that's kind of what I'm trying to give you a fair warning of, is don't be surprised if we do have this market shift right now out of nowhere, because we are at levels in a market that very critical areas. You know, Bitcoin's at critical areas. Bonk is giving us signs that we're entering critical areas. The DXY is also giving us signs that it might want to reverse, but it doesn't know what it wants to do yet, right? So we're getting a lot of signs in the market that we could be seeing some sort of top in the market, right? We saw it with Deutsche, right? Dogecoin was really hyped back when the SNL stuff with Elon Musk happened, and guess what happened? Deutsche dumped, market was kind of topped. Same thing happened with Shiba. Same thing happened with Pepe. Pepe was so talked about for like about 2-3 months. Found its top, it dumped. Bear market, back to the bear market, it happened. So you usually see these cycles go on for 3 to 4 months. And let's say, for example, let's take a look at Pepe, right? When did Pepe finally pump? Pepe started his pump back in, I think this token was created back in April. So it started in April, right? Let's go ahead and see where the top of Pepe was after it started his run. Pepe started in April. The market pumped for 3 months. It found its top around June or July. June or July. This is where Pepe 2 found its top as well. And a lot of the tokens found their top around this cycle right here, around June and July. That's when the narrative was a little way too late, and then we saw this market correction come all the way down from July, August, and then September, which was pretty bearish months in the month, in the cycle, I guess if you want to call it, whatever. Then we had a reversal come in October, which we talked about. You know, we had that reversal in October. We had, you know, November being a bullish month, December surprisingly being a bullish month too. So we're seeing that where we usually take this 3-month pump, 3-month dump, 3-month pump, 3-month dump. We saw that, we've seen this happen with multiple tokens over and over and over again, right? And this is usually when we have this mini bull run cycle. There could be multiple bull runs and bear markets in a big bull run. You know, this is not the big where Bitcoin's going to hit $80,000. As I'm mentioning, a lot of these tokens, even Bitcoin, could hit $55,000 in the next couple of weeks, drop back down 30%, and then pump throughout the year of 2024 to 2025. So that's what I'm saying I'm bullish on. But what I'm saying that if this month of cycles that we're talking about, where it has a 3-month pump, followed with a 3-month dump, and then it followed with another 3-month pump, there's a probability that if all the signs are adding up right now, which I could be wrong, I'm just giving you a warning. If the signs of this 3-month cycle going on in between these bull runs and bull or bear runs, whatever you want to call them, that could mean that we could also be seeing another 3-month dump on Bitcoin, right? A 3-month dump on Bitcoin leading, or let's say a 1-month dump on Bitcoin, because we talked about the 30-day cycle, with then a reversal, we could be expecting some sort of dump into the market, which means that a lot of the tokens that we're looking at right now, we could actually get them at better prices. So don't go all in on a lot of the tokens right now. I would say, you know, have more money on the side, you know, be USDT ready. I wouldn't be jumping in too much right now in the market. I think right now we're too much of a green market. If you're already exposed to the market and you're in profits, you know, maybe take a little bit of some, buy a little bit of, you know, take some profits. That's what I would recommend, not financial advice. Maybe take some profits. But as a like going all in on all the projects like right now, like if you head over to CoinMarketCap and you're looking forward to put in like $10,000-$20,000 and more on a lot of these tokens, I would wait. Because you also need to remember that we have the Bitcoin ETF happening or being announced in the beginning of January, right? And the most interesting thing with the beginning of January is that typically that's when we see Bitcoin top off. We typically see Bitcoin top off around, the beginning of January, or at least the dominance, and then that's when we have altcoin season begin, right? We usually have altcoin season begin when Bitcoin finds its top. With that being said, if Bitcoin finds its top, it's actually bullish for you and I, because we're going to be making a lot of our money into altcoins, right? The thing is, if the Bitcoin ETF gets rejected, which I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but the chances of approval are kind of high. But this is where the two bearish case scenarios could go into. Bitcoin being at levels that we're reaching right now, you have to remember a lot of people bought in Bitcoin at these higher levels. You bought them at that $40,000, $30,000, maybe even higher prices, right? Don't you think that those people that have been holding on to a lot of these tokens for years are going to be taking profits once they start seeing a lot of their projects come back up? A lot of them are going to be breaking even. A lot of them are going to go ahead and be cutting their losses. And a lot of them are going to be in profits and going to be profit taking, right? So if Bitcoin does have the ETF get denied, it's not really going to do much. It just means that, the Bitcoin or the bull run that everybody's hoping for is going to be delayed. And if the bull run gets delayed, that just means it's going to be delayed for about, 6 months, I would say 6 to 8 months delayed. It's not going to be that much. Maybe, it's super bearish for 3 months. And that's what I'm talking about. 3-month cycle, right? Right here. Let's say the ETF does get denied, right? It's not going to be bearish for Bitcoin. They're just going to push it to another time frame, meaning we could probably see some sort of correction for 3 months where people are super, super bearish. And that's usually where you want to be buying the dip, right? 3-month cycle, possibly. I'm just saying, just in case. Worst comes to worst, if the ETF gets denied, it's just going to be pushed back longer. That means the bull run's not going to start till, mid 2024 to leading on to 2026, which in my opinion would be more bullish, right? Because those are signs that is giving us in the market that we should go in even more. Right now, I'm more bullish in crypto than anything. If you're looking for temporary gains right now in the market, like you want to go ahead and swing trade or buy any of these tokens and make money in the next couple months, I would say be careful. If you're looking to just go ahead and dollar cost average your way into a position, you're like, hey John, like I really don't care about what you're telling me. Like I understand that there's a possibility that the bull run is still not here. I don't care. I'm still gonna buy the dips. Then what I'm telling you doesn't really matter. You should just dollar cost average your way into these projects, and that's it. But if you're looking to go ahead and make money in the next couple months, or you're trading, I would just be very, very careful, because we're at very critical areas in the market is what I'm trying to say. And this could also be a huge buying opportunity for a lot of you that have been waiting on the sidelines, and you're like, hey John, like I've been playing in the market these last couple months, but now I want to go all in. And not financial advice, I wouldn't do that right now. I would wait for a correction first and then go all in if you want. That would be your signal, in my opinion, to go all in if you've been having money stacked to the side. You're like, hey John, I've been stacking up money to the side. I've been waiting for this market to finally give me a sign. I want to know if this is a sign. I would say your sign is going to be when you find the market, find a correction. As soon as we find Bitcoin find its correction, we could go ahead and see how the people are going to react. More than likely, usually meme tokens follow with the dump when we see Bitcoin crash. Because there's going to be a lot of panic, and the newbies are going to get scared, and they're like, oh, the sky is falling, and the newbies are going to fall for it, and they're going to get wrecked. And then all the dips are going to be bought up by the whales and the people that understand that there's seasons in the cycle. With that being said, if you're someone that has been sitting in the cash ready to buy the dips, and you're getting ready to throw in, over a couple thousands of dollars into the market, right now, I think would be like the worst time to do it. I would wait for the markets to correct, to go all in. But if you don't want to time the market, just buy the dips. Just buy the dips. If you're trading, I would just freaking swing trade or day trade back in and out, and that's it. I wouldn't be risking too much right now. My goal right now, this next couple months, depending on how the ETF goes and how the market sentiment goes, I'm literally going to be stacking up on a lot of my projects that I'm going to be stacking up on. Like, I'm not going to be swing trading as much anymore. I'm not going to be leverage trading right now. I think Glenn and Dabmaster and a few of you have agreed that we are at very risky territories right now. 73% greed. We want to be right here. We want to be in the neutral and fear. This is where you want to typically be leverage trading. This is what I've noticed. This is what I've noticed. I'm telling you, I'm back testing all of everything I'm saying. A lot of the things that I'm saying have been back tested, and a lot of things that I'm currently saying are being back tested right now as we speak, right? So this is not 100% confirmation that what I'm telling you is going to happen. I'm just giving you my opinion based on what I'm seeing in the market, what I've been seeing in the market, what I've been analyzing in the market, and then the information that I've been taking on from other traders that I truly respect. Traders, real traders, not your hyped freaking YouTubers. They're saying the same warnings in the market as well now. And I've been saying that way before them. So that makes me feel like my thesis of what I'm trying to say, it's getting closer to what could possibly happen. If you want to trade leverage or spot, make sure to support the channel by using my links down below. But with everything that I'm saying right now, even with the chart right now that we look at, I think we could probably temporarily be around this area right here, around the thrill and the euphoria. We could be around here right now. And we could still continue to see the market pump. Maybe it pumps for another month, month and a half, 2 months, 3 months. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think it's going to continue to pump for too long. I could be wrong, right? It could even pump for another 3 more months before we see a correction. But what I could go ahead and tell you that a correction will be happening, and a lot of people will get wrecked and panic. And that's really what the goal is. The big whales want to kind of get people lured in. It's kind of like a fish in a stick. A fish stick, you know what I mean, or a cheese in a stick, right? It's like a you swinging a cheese to a rat or a mice, whatever one of those animals eat cheese, and they give them a little taste of cheese, right, to go ahead and try it out, and the rat's like, this is freaking amazing. Well, little does the rat know is that after he got the taste of the freaking cheese, he's getting leaded into a freaking trap. So as that person is dangling that freaking cheese to the rat to go ahead and follow it, the rat's like, this is freaking amazing. And he's going through all these phases in his life. He's going through these euphoric phases right here where he's eating this cheese and he's like, dude, there's no way like I'm eating all this cheese. And he first begins with a disbelief where he probably saw the cheese being dangled. He's like, there's no way, I'm probably delusional. Maybe I'm delusional now because I'm so hungry. Then he starts getting the hope. I'm like, I smell like cheese. Then he starts getting the optimism. Then he starts getting the belief because now he finally got a taste of the cheese. He finally tasted a crumb of the cheese, right? So now that he's getting this cheese dangled around, he's finally chasing the cheese, right? Because now he actually knows that the cheese is real because he got a taste of it. He knows what it's like. He's like, it's real. It tastes good. It made me feel good. I have more energy. Now let me go ahead and get some more. Now he's entering into the thrill and the euphoria phase where he's like, damn, man, I'm so smart, that I found this freaking piece of cheese laying down there that I could get forever for the rest of my life. And while he's entering these phases, little does he know that he's getting led into a trap. He's getting led into a rat trap. And this rat's going through all these euphoric phases in the market. And I'm sorry if I'm describing you as, giving you an example of a rat with the cheese. I think that's like the best example you could think of because this is the way humans kind of are, right? Like you have to give him a taste of something in order for him to want more of it, right? For example, we had right now we have the markets, the real big traders, the institutions. They gave the money to the smaller people, the smaller fish, and their goal is for them to go ahead and continue to risk more money until they go ahead and pull the rug right underneath. That's how rug pulls happen. That's how liquidity grabs happened. That's how I got wrecked. I went to all these euphoric phases in my trading experience when I documented my trading times with Pepe and Grok 2.0 or Grok, whatever the token is called, Grok. And I was going through all these phases right here, right? And obviously the goal is for them to go ahead and have you invest more and more and more and more and more, and to the point where you invest all your money and you freaking lose everything, and that's kind of like where I feel like a lot of people are going, is that they gave some taste to the new traders, to people that haven't been in this market, and a chance, an opportunity to make some money. And as they continue to make their money, now their goal is for them to take all their freaking money, right? That's what the real big traders want everybody to do. They want you to lose all your money. So they want you to get excited into what's going on in the market. So what the real big institutions and traders are doing is that they're looking at how the market's moving, right? They're seeing that, months ago, the people that were really making the money, guess who it was? It was the real traders that were analyzing the charts way before the cycle actually happened. For example, back in October, back in October is when it started, and I was giving signs that there was a pretty good reason why the market should be reversing to a bullish scenario. And I told a lot of you, start loading up a lot of tokens. This is the time you want to go ahead and start getting a little bit risky, you know. Then we had now we're getting to the point where the bigger whales and institutions are kind of looking around. They're like, what are people talking about, right? So what they start doing the research on, they start seeing what these YouTubers start talking about. They start seeing how the market's feeling. And right now the market's feeling greedy, and I feel like we're getting towards these levels right here. Maybe we're at the believe rally, I don't know. I think we're somewhere around over here, and we could be reaching some sort of top where a lot of people are going to get wrecked, and a lot of people are going to go through these phases again before you start having the biggest freaking bull run of your life, right? So with that being said, just don't do what I did. You know, don't go all in into one position. Don't freaking put all your money in one token. That was a mistake I did with Grok. You know, I got a little too greedy, and I wrecked myself. You know, now I learned not to put too much money on meme tokens. I wouldn't suggest no more than $6,000, especially with leverage trading with these meme tokens. I wouldn't put no more than that. As I mentioned, to each his own. When it comes to these losses that you do have in the market, because I know a lot of you did get wrecked as well, you need to go ahead and learn from the experiences and ask yourself, what did I learn from this, right? What did I do right and what did I do wrong? I did a lot of things right in my trading journey. Back in October, I was able to call this reversal. So I congratulate myself on that because I made money early on the reversal. I did get wrecked with my own emotions, you know, back to this market of psychology. It's one thing to be aware. It's one thing to actually, you know, control them, right? Most people don't even know how to control them, nor are aware. I was aware of the chart, but I wasn't aware of my emotions. And that's something you also have to be able to recognize, right? So what I could go ahead and tell you is that I think I did a lot more things correctly than I did incorrectly. And with that being said, even if you go through any of these moments during your trading phase or your investment phase, whatever you want to call it, your crypto phase, crypto journey, whatever. I mean, you go through these phases in life as well, right? I just compared a rat with cheese and told you how most people are going to get wrecked in this market. As long as you go ahead and take a step back and realize and understand what you did right and what you did wrong, you're going to become a better trader overall. And with that being said, I learned that meme tokens, no more than $6,000. Start understanding how the market's moving, right? If you start to see the liquidity not being the same, that could be signs of some sort of reversal in the market. The third one would also be do not overtrade. Do not trade on vacation. That's another one too. And another new thing that I learned too is never do a flash close on MEXC. You will be destined to get freaking wrecked. And last but not least, I would not use no more than 20x when it comes to a lot of these meme tokens when it comes to trading, right? If you want to go ahead and risk $100 with 100x, and it might be worth it, but I wouldn't be doing a huge amount, no more of actually $6,000 plus with higher leverage, right? But with that, all that being said, as I mentioned, we'll go ahead and see where the market really is. Overall, I think the market's going to be bullish. I do want to go ahead and mention that there is some very critical news going on with Pepe 2, and I'll actually start reading some comments right now. I apologize for not reading them, but I just wanted to go ahead and say that. Ryan says, I have to agree with you, John, about the Wall Street chart. Nice. Sodi, Neon, never EVM on fire. Glenn, how's it going, my guy? What's up, John? ETF not getting denied. Do you see my Discord post? Let's look at this. Let's go ahead and see what Glenn put. Saeed, how's it going, Saeed? Hope you're having a good one. Have you seen what's the news for Pepe 2? I have, bro. Glenn says, you calling me a rat, bro? LOL. Nah, dude. Hey, Glenn, how's it going, bro? Hope you're having a good one. So overall, as I mentioned, I know I went on this little rant with this example of what I just gave you of the market, but I think this is something we have to be accountable for and be there for one another, right? If I'm just here to tell you like the most bullish case scenarios, I'm leading you into a freaking wreck hole, right? So I would rather give you warnings and be wrong and then be like, hey, chat, like we're super freaking bullish, go all in, buy right now, and then you buy and then you get wrecked and you lose your money, right? I would rather go ahead and be like, hey, you know what, chat, I'm feeling a little bit neutral. This is my opinion. I think you should be a little bit more concerned. This is the reason why I'm concerned. If I'm wrong, well, congratulations, you still made a lot of money. If I'm right, well, then at least you were able to deleverage yourself from a lot of positions. So I would rather give you my opinion with those kind of signs than always be bullish 100%, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't freaking know where the market's going, and no one does either. If everybody knew really where the market was going, trust me, a lot of people would be making billions. Black Ranger says, I can't emphasize how important it is to trade in groups as well. Sharing information is the key to success. I agree with you 100%, Black Ranger. Any groups that we could get into, that'd be good, man. I would definitely like to join the groups you're getting into, because I know you've been calling a lot of alpha. Saeed says, we need a good positive review of Pepe 2, please. Saeed, I definitely 100%, man. So let's go ahead and talk about Pepe 2. I'm actually going to be doing another live stream dedicated just for Pepe 2 later on today. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on, right? Had to drink some water. I'm like freaking thirsty. I'm like super thirsty right now. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Coquinho. We're getting a lot of these signs with Coquinho and all that too, right? So this is what's going on with Pepe 2. So if you're a holder of Pepe 2, after that huge rant that I just went in the market, hopefully you enjoyed a lot of that, right? I know it's a little intense if you ask me, with all the narratives and everything I just gave you, but I think it's just something we should be aware of, right? Just be aware. And this is another prime example of why I tell you a lot of this, right? Pepe 2.0 is being a freaking perfect example to what I just talked about, what I always talk about in the past when it comes to a lot of these meme tokens and a lot of these higher or lower cap tokens with super high risk, high reward. And this is what we're going to see what Pepe 2.0 just announced, right? Is this bullish? Is this bearish? And we're going to go ahead and talk about both scenarios. So if you're a holder of Pepe 2, go ahead and continue to watch this. And I hope you're still watching this. If you're watching this pre-recorded, if you are, smash that like button for me. But let's look at what Pepe 2 has, right? This is what they posted today on Twitter. Lots to talk about Turbo as well. Nice. We're gonna talk about Turbo too. If you can post a smart contract down below for Turbo, that'd be great. So let's look at this. And by the way, if the ETF gets denied, I think it's gonna be a buy the rumor, sell the news event still. So regardless, if the Bitcoin ETF doesn't get denied, I think it's gonna be a buy the rumor, sell the news. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe Bitcoin continues to pump. But there's actually a prime example of, let's see. I think it was their futures. And then I'll talk about Pepe too, because this is very, very important. Like, I want to mention this. I want to see, there's this one time. I can't recall if it was... Dude, I'm so itchy. I apologize. I think it's probably allergies that I'm getting. This is what I want to show you. This is very, very important. We'll talk about Pepe 2 and all the other tokens that you've been providing. I think it's announced. Okay, so this is a perfect example, right? We're going to go ahead and read into this, and we're going to go ahead and look at the charts, and then we can go ahead and back it with a possibility of the Bitcoin ETF and what we could be expecting, right? As I mentioned, this is solely my opinion. It's on financial advice. Hopefully that lighting looks good. I'm not sure if my lighting looks good. Okay, so CME Group, the world's leading first diverse derivatives marketplace, announced on November 12, 2019 that options on Bitcoin futures contracts would be available for trading starting January 13. Pending regulatory reviews and da-da-da-da-da. All right, so we're going to go ahead and see what happened, right? We're going to see what happened. In December 2017, CME announced that it has completed self-certification where the commodity futures trading is launches Bitcoin futures contract December 18th, 2017, pending on all relevant periods, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at this information right here. So it looks like So it was available January 13th, 2020, right? So we're going to go ahead and see where Bitcoin was at during this time. Let's see if this is it. Because I know this is one of the charts that I was looking at, but I can't remember if it was exactly this date. So let's go ahead and check. I think I might have the wrong date, to be honest. I have to look into this date. I'm going to look for it one more time. And if I can't, if this is not it, then it's completely incorrect with what I'm trying to tell you right here. I don't know where my chart's going. I'm just going to come back with this information later on today's stream. I'll come back to it. But it's something with futures first being announced. I can't remember if it was 2017 or 2020 when Bitcoin's contracts were first announced, or futures, and as soon as it went live, Bitcoin started dumping. But I actually want to show you the charts to go ahead and compare it. But I'll just go ahead and pull up that data and do some more research after this live stream, and I'll go ahead and show you on today's live stream later on today with the data of it showing when Bitcoin dumped. As soon as the futures Bitcoin got released, right? As soon as futures Bitcoin got released, Bitcoin ended up dumping, and that's why I also believe that Bitcoin ETF could be the same thing. Whereas a buy the rumor, sell the news, where everybody gets super excited, Bitcoin dumps. So regardless of whether Bitcoin gets approved or not, I think Bitcoin could have a probability of it dumping. That's just my opinion, and that's why the whole reason of why I talked about today's narrative. But anyways, let's talk about Pepe 2. If you're a holder of Pepe 2, welcome. Smash that like button. Let's go ahead and talk about Pepe 2. This is what's going on with Pepe 2 right now at the moment. Dear Pepe 2 community, we are thrilled to share some exciting news as we step into a new era of growth. New horizons, next leg up. Our ambition of 2024 is clear. Pepe 2 aims to reach new milestones and a bigger global reach. Team evolution, onboarding new talent. The core team has undergone changes with the Pepe 2 team and has evolved. Certain members have embraced new opportunities while fresh faces have joined our team, yet to be announced. Strategic shift, embracing 0-0 tax contract. So they actually had a contract where it was a 1-to-1, one buy, one sell. And we have decided to migrate to a 0-0 contract, which will also allow us to burn the liquidity pool. This decision is a result of extensive consultations over the past 3 months. A call to action take part in the transformation. To facilitate this, we have reached out to all exchanges that listed Pepe 2. They will be delisting the current contract. This move is crucial for a smooth migration for Pepe 2 contract. For those who wish to be part of the pivot moment, please send your tokens to by December 29th. In return, you'll receive a one-on-one airdrop. The token sent will be converted to ETH under the current contract and utilized for liquidity in the migration process. The new contract will be coming from a brand new deployer wallet. The official contract will be posted on Twitter and Twitter only. The new contract will go live January 4th, 2024. Official contract will be announced prior. Sincerely, Pepe 2.0 team. So what's actually quite interesting is I guess they're doing the migration, which you need to go ahead and send your tokens by the 29th. Hopefully this is not some sort of freaking exit scam or exit liquidity, whatever they're trying to do. I did mention, you know, one of my biggest red flags. I mentioned that we had to be on the lookout for this one day of Pepe 2.0 unlocking the liquidity, and it looks like that day might be either today or tomorrow. So here's a prime example of why I always tell a lot of you that, you know, you don't want to ever go all in into a lot of these projects, especially meme tokens, because we don't know what changes they're going to go ahead and do, right? The thing is right here with Pepe 2, man, is they have plenty of things, right? I really hope this buy and sell tax of 1%. I don't know what their goals are trying to achieve with this. Maybe they couldn't get into bigger exchanges because of the fact that they had a 101. I'm not too sure. I mean, does Bonk have a 101? Let's see. Doesn't tell us if it has any kind of buy or sell tax. But typically, from what I've heard, is it's typically, you know, bigger exchanges don't like to go ahead and list tokens that have buy tax whatsoever. So that could be probably one of the reasons why they're renouncing to a 1-year contract. With that being said, how do I feel about it? I mean, honestly, I really don't know. I would like to go ahead and see how the community is reacting to it. There's multiple things that could go right with this and multiple things that could go wrong. One of the things that could go wrong, we could go ahead and start off with, is that this could be completely like an exit scam now, and you know, we just lost all of our money. The second one would be that the narrative is not there no more, right? The people are no longer willing to go back to the Pepes. That could be one of the biggest ones. It's like, is it even worth for them to do a contract migration without us even knowing if people are still hyped up about it, right? That's one of the red flags. I guess the good thing and the positive thing is that apparently you're going to receive the 101 airdrop. So whatever you put into it, whatever you invested, you're going to go ahead and get it back onto the new, you know, smart contract deployer. This is actually quite interesting how we were talking about this a while back, how they got bought out or were, you know, consulting with L Bank, one of the top exchanges that we talked about as well. And this doesn't surprise me, right? We were talking about some sort of movement in the teams, a new developer, a new marketing team. We were talking about this a long time ago. We were talking about this literally like freaking months ago. Literally months ago, the reason why we were bullish. So who knows if the reason why they reversed, you know, Pepe 2, they did it purposely to go ahead and make some money off the deployer and make as much as they can and then do this pivot. I mean, there's a lot of new holders, which is actually quite interesting. 12,000.15. We just saw about a huge $38,000 buy right here at this bottom. So it's quite interesting what's going on. I don't know what to tell you, honestly. I'm sorry to tell you, but I just really don't know what to tell you with this. It's we're gonna have to go ahead and wait and see. You know, in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and remind everybody about what's going on. Luckily, you receive a 101 airdrop. The tokens will be sent, converted to ETH under the current contract, and be utilized for. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I buy a little bit of Pepe. Actually, I don't even think I'll be able to buy Pepe 2 during that time. Let's see what time. 29th. Yeah, I probably won't be able to. But if you're thinking like, should I buy some more? I mean, I wouldn't buy too much. If you really want to go ahead and wait for the airdrop, I mean, I would just wait and see how the airdrop goes and see if the hype is still there. If you want to go ahead and reinvest your money, if you could go ahead and break even, then maybe it might be worth it. But if you're at a loss with Pepe 2 right now, you're still holding, you're better off just sending in your tokens and hope it's not a scam, and you know, receive the 101 airdrop that they're claiming. The thing is, with things like this, is really difficult. I mean, I already checked the Telegram. It is on Telegram, but it's very difficult to know if the page wasn't hacked and some hackers doing this, or they're doing this as an exit liquidity, right? It's actually quite interesting how it's I told you, I mentioned about the 1 day liquidity being unlocked, and they didn't mention any of this months ago. It's like they should have been mentioning this long time ago, in my opinion. Like, you don't mention this like last minute. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Glenn says, yeah, if I was invested in Pepe 2, I would not send my tokens to them. Personally, I don't even think that's real. They probably got hacked, in my opinion, and they locked comments on that thread. LOL. Yeah, 100%. See, that's the thing I don't know. I just find it, and I also do see that they posted on Twitter. Like, if I also go on Twitter, I mean, not Twitter, Telegram, I'd be able to show you on Telegram the message from Lord LOL. So I do believe that this could be real, but I don't know. This is like the really risky part of DeFi, right? You have to trust the process of the token that you're investing in, the people that are in these tokens, right? All we can do is just hope that they have the best interest, and the people that are in here are actually, token hasn't been hacked. But apparently the smart contract is being there's going to be a new smart contract, and these tokens will be getting delisted. So if you're a holder of Pepe 2 and you are on one of these exchanges, I would begin to, I don't know. I just can't advise any of you, chat, honestly. Like, it kind of sucks being in the space of crypto, like, in this sense, where you really can't advise anybody in this. Like, I don't know. All you can do is just hope and cross your fingers that everything's okay. But realistically, I don't know. and I'm no longer a holder of Pepe 2. So, like, I would wait for a couple more days, see what kind of announcements we could get. But on Telegram, we have a clear sign on Telegram that we also have the same message. We have the same message on Telegram. So if you don't believe the one on Twitter, which I totally understand, they also have it on their Telegram. We just don't know if they got hacked or not. That's kind of the scary part. I'm trying to read what they have, and they actually have a meeting scheduled today in about 3 hours. 5, yeah. So it starts today, later on today, in about 3 hours. They're going to be giving some announcements. So I would just say don't send any money yet. If you have money in Pepe 2 right now, I wouldn't send the money to that address they posted. I wouldn't just yet. Just wait. They do have an announcement that's starting, apparently a Telegram chat, in about 3 hours. So I'll go ahead and be live streaming later on today again, and I'll be live streaming on that next on that next whatever it is. They sometimes say it's a freaking video chat, which usually it's not. Sometimes it's a video chat. I mean a voice chat. And sometimes it's just a freaking message. All they do is pin it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, if you're a holder of Pepe 2, unfortunately, I lost all my money on Pepe 2. This is kind of the reason why I was giving out the warning, months ago about some sort of liquidity being unlocked. And I find it quite interesting how, like, a day before the liquidity gets unlocked, they start talking about this new contract being announced. It's like, I think they should have done that months ago, in my opinion. They should have at least announced it a month and a half ago, and and talked about it. But I don't know if it's maybe a security issue that they didn't want people to get scammed. I don't freaking know. I don't know. This is the reason why I always tell a lot of you, do not invest no more than you're willing to lose in a lot of these projects, because when they make changes like this, it's a hit or miss. Maybe Pepe 2.0 does take off after this new contract, this 0.0 contract, where they do get listed, let's say on Binance, they get listed on crypto.com. That'd be bullish, right? But what if they do this migration and the token's dead? You know what I mean? Like, all that time and money and energy you invested in the token kind of gone, right? This is the reason why I'm not too big of a fan when it comes to depending on just one meme token. Like, diversify your money, invest into different meme tokens, trade if you have to, day trade, hold on to some tokens if you want to, just chill and hold forever. But this is the reason why I kind of tell you this, because this is a thing that a lot of people don't think about when we come to these situations. But as I mentioned, I will be streaming later on today with the announcements on the news, so do not worry about that. And then we could just go ahead and figure out what you should be doing when we start entering those zones right there. Saeed says, I'm holding massive, what to do? Glenn says, Saeed, you have to take what info you can see, decide it for yourself. So if you're holding Pepe 2 now, is there anything we need to do because of a new contract? See, man, Saeed and Dwayne, like, as Glenn says, like, I can't tell you what to do. One, because I don't know. I'm realistically, like, if I was in this situation, this is what I would do, right? If I was in this situation where I was a Pepe 2.0 holder, which I'm not because I got wrecked, I lost my money on Pepe 2. So just know that it wasn't a choice, it was by force that I got wrecked out of my position on Pepe 2. But I always mentioned this liquidity, this 6% being unlocked, which to me was a huge red flag because I didn't know how much 6% was. How's it going, Billy? But what I could go ahead and tell you is if I was a holder of Pepe 2, this is what I would do. Yeah, the dev is replying to us. This is what I would do. If I was a holder of Pepe 2, this is exactly what I would do, right? I wouldn't send any money to the contract right now. I would wait. Yeah, the dev's been good. I mean, honestly, I think it's more bullish than bearish in my opinion. I really kind of doubt that those Twitter got hacked, because let's say the Twitter got hacked. All right, they got the Twitter, but can they get the Telegram? You know, can the hacker get the Twitter and the Telegram? That's where the difficult part comes in, right? So Twitter, I wouldn't trust it too much, but getting your Telegram and your Twitter hacked, you know, the chances of that are very, very low, unless you were stupid enough to use the same password in the same, you know, 2FA code or something like that, right? So the chances are minimal. So what I could tell you is that there's a probability that this is legit, but what I would go ahead and do, just worst case scenario, let's say he did get his Twitter hacked and the Telegram hacked, which I highly doubt it, but let's say he did. I would just wait until the Telegram chat later on today. Wait until what they have to announce. Wait to what he has to say. Maybe he has more alpha. Maybe he could tell us a little bit more, and then you can make the decision of sending your tokens in. But realistically, honestly, your money's gone anyways. Regardless of what happens, right? Like whatever money you put into this project, your money is gone, whether this is a hack or whether it's not a hack, right? Because let's say if this is a hack and you send your money to the contract, well then you already lost all your money, right? Let's say this is not a hack, and let's say you don't send your money to the airdrop, well, you're gonna lose all your money anyways, because this contract is not gonna be used anymore. It's gonna get drained. The other case scenario is, let's say this isn't a hack and they have the best intentions, but the community is no longer caring about the 2.0 narrative. The token's completely dead, and now you have a token that's worth nothing if you have actually no real strategy or plan behind it, because they had a really good marketing in the beginning, but I think they just effed up on the marketing. I think they could have gotten more influencers on deck. They could have gotten more YouTubers. They could have done a lot more better with their marketing. But they didn't, you know. I feel like they ended up spending so much freaking money when the token was dumping, when they should have never been spending money on marketing. So with that being said, regardless of the cases, you know, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but like whether this is a scam or not a scam, you still enter a lot of risk, right? The risk of the token probably no longer being as hyped as it is, which I doubt. We're going to see tonight or later on today on the live stream that they're going to host, which I will be live streaming. So if you're a holder of Pepe 2, go ahead and smash that like button for me, turn on post notifications. And that's kind of what I could tell you. I would just wait and listen to the live stream first with what the developer has to say, and then you could go ahead and start making your decision on that. He says you could check the contract of the money being sent. I mean, I'm sure the money is being sent, but the thing is how do we know if this is, let's go Etherscan. We've seen $2,000 sent so far. So the bullish case scenario with this is that not that many people send their token to this, and the token's at a very low market cap and value. And then if Pepe 2.0 does come back with whatever massive news they have, this token could pump over 100 plus X. That's the bullish case scenario. So, I mean, regardless of the case, I mean, you're kind of left off, you know, having to do the airdrop. I mean, you kind of have no other choice. Because regardless, you're going to lose money either way. Like, if you don't send the money, you're going to lose the money. If you send the money and it's a hack, you're going to lose the money. If you don't send the money, it's not a hack, the token's probably going to dump. So, there's just a lot of cases that, honestly, like, you're kind of left at sending your money to the contract. Like, there's really no other option, in my opinion, at this point. And hopefully they could go ahead and you know, get rid of the freaking high freaking supply, because the supply is freaking insane. So I would hold off to sending tokens yet. I wouldn't send tokens yet to this token yet. I mean, this address, I wouldn't send it yet. I would wait until the voice chat and then do it. Black Ranger says Pepe 2 will pump again. The Pepe narrative is popular again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll pump again. Just that the thing is with Pepe 2, we saw a lot of red flags. Like we know that a lot of the people that are holders of Pepe 2 are not real. Based on from what I've seen, the Telegram looks pretty dead. It's been looking dead these last couple months. So it's like we're gonna have to wait and see. That's all I can say. We'll wait and see for when the team announces what's going to happen. But regardless of the case, I'm definitely probably going to buy a small little bag when they go live and just see where things go. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about these last few things that I have in mind. I'm in live. My live has already gone over an hour. I want to go ahead and end this soon to go ahead and take a break, and then to go ahead and hop back on live stream later on today when Pepe 2.0 announces the news. But with that being said, that was kind of like what I wanted to just kind of talk about today. One of the other things that we could talk about before I end the video is I want to show you what we've seen prior to previous markets when we see a lot of hype going on. Another one being Shiba Inu, right? Shiba Inu was super hyped at one point and then ended up dumping. Look at this right here. So Shiba Inu is at a 5 billion market cap. And when you go ahead and look at Shiba Inu on the daily chart and zoom all the way out, Shiba hasn't even gone close to reaching the top, right? I've been talking about how we've been delayed in Shiba to go ahead and reach some sort of top. Even with Shiba from the levels where it's at today, this thing could do a 7x, right? But what happened when Shiba began to make crazy pumps? Well, Shiba ended up pumping from, which is actually quite interesting, because I've been telling everybody how we were delaying the market for a few months. We were actually delaying the market for about 1 month, I believe. The market back in Shiba started around September. I was calling for a September pump, and we actually had an October pump towards the end. SHIB actually pumped from October 2nd, leading all the way up to October 25th is where it found its top. So around October 30th was when actually SHIB found its top. So you can say roughly the bull market at that time was around August that it started. Around August, September, October, and then towards November was when it found the top. That's where you saw Bitcoin finding the top as well, was around November, right? Last bull run back in 2021, if I can remember correctly. And we see the same thing with SHIB right here. You know, we see SHIB pump from October all the way to October 27th and then found its top, and then ever since then SHIB has been dumping ever since, right? Ever since October it has been dumping, and it has dumped a lot, and this is what I'm trying to show you with a lot of the tokens. I mean, SHIB is getting some sort of reversal signs, but we see this 3-month pump usually follow, right? We see that let's say July was a dump, we have 1, 2, 3 months of bullishness, and then we're followed with a 3-month dump with some sort of reversal with another 3-month dump. So Shiba has just been dumping ever since, right? I do think there's going to be a reversal with this next, but this is where we found some sort of top in the market as well. When SHIB found its top right here, that's where the top of Bitcoin was nearby as well. I think this is what, 2021. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. I might be off by 1 month, right? You have to keep in mind, this is all just, this data is not proven that it's going to be that way. It's just an example what could potentially happen. But if you go back right here, we saw Shiba topped at what, October, and we see Bitcoin topped at around January. So we see SHIB top on October. Let's go back. Where's my chart? October 21st, and then we see SHIB at around this zone right here. This is where SHIB was at when this is where SHIB was at. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong chart, bro. This is where SHIB was at. Where was it at? Right here. My bad. See, now I got it correctly. This is where SHIB topped off. SHIB topped off in October around this zone right here when Bitcoin hit 66,000. And then Bitcoin topped off on November, which was 68,000, and then just dumped ever since. And has been getting rejected ever since. So this is what I want all of you to be very, very careful for, because we saw this in the market prior, right? We had the month. If you go back to, let's see if we can pull out the monthly. I don't know why it's not showing me the monthly on Bitcoin. Anyways, that's fine. You get the point, right? Yeah, SHIB topped off in October 2021, which then Bitcoin ended up topping off on November at $68,000, and that was his top for Bitcoin at 68. So this is kind of signs that it also gives us that, you know, typically when meme tokens top off, there's a top off with Bitcoin and then a dump. I don't think they're going to have some sort of like long bear market, but it could be a possibility. Maybe, let's say Bitcoin doesn't have the bull run that we're all expecting, and we just have Bitcoin consolidate in this period, come back down to the $26,000, and the bull run doesn't really begin until, let's say, 2025 to 2026. That's the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario, with everything that I just said today, the worst case scenario is that Bitcoin doesn't have an actual bull run until 2025 to 2026. That's the worst case scenario. The most bullish case scenario is that all the information that I told you doesn't matter. Bitcoin hits all-time highs on the ETF and the bull run begins. That's the bullish case scenario. But in my opinion, I think they're both bullish, right? Because if Bitcoin does get rejected at the zones that we're at right now and does drop back down to lower lows, then that just means that the Bitcoin, that means just the bull rally or the bull run is going to be delayed for about 6 months, which would lead us to the bull run not starting until 2025 or 2026, which would give us more than enough time, another 2-year period, to load up on cryptos before having a huge, massive pump in the market. Doesn't mean we won't have these cycles where we do have the market pump as we're looking at it right now. That would be the worst case scenario, by the way. And if you're still watching this, make sure to smash that like button for me. If you're a holder at Pepe 2.0 as well, make sure to follow me at ALTCOIN John. I know this video today, this live stream, was a little bit of rambling. I didn't do too much TA. I apologize if I didn't do any TA on the contracts that you wanted me to take a look at. Let me go ahead and share some real quick. With the tokens that you posted. Dabmaster posted one, and I'm just going to give the alpha, and I'll go over it on today's live stream later on today, because I will be going twice. He shared Goots. It's on Solana. We talked about, you know, how Solana tokens are definitely a play. Super Degen, $7,000 of liquidity, $37,000 of market cap. Another token that was shared was Size, I think, is what Glenn posted. He posted on Discord. By the way, if you haven't joined our Discord, join our Discord down below. This is another one right here, 237,000 market cap. I would rather kind of risk some money right here on these meme tokens. I think it's worth playing the Solana hype right now. And just in case, if we do find a top, you're only investing 100 to 200 bucks on these meme tokens, or maybe even $300, and minimizing your risk, right? So this could also be a play right now. Size, we have Size. What else can we go ahead and see real quick? Black Ranger posted another one. And as I mentioned, I apologize, it's got kind of in a rant today, which I won't do. And then we have Turbo, which is currently sitting in the 36 million market cap. Let's see where this is heading at. Oh, this is a freaking reversal, dude. See, with we go back to this, I wouldn't buy right now. I'll wait for some reversal, see if it can find some bottom. As soon as it finds a bottom, then I would consider buying this. I think you'll probably trade this on MEXC though. I wouldn't be surprised. Talking about MEXC, make sure to support my channel by using my MEXC link down below. Let's see what else do we have. Titan. Moon Joker says, John, will there be a BTC pump before Xmas? I mean, we've kind of already seen the pump, man. How's it going, Moon Joker? Hope you're having a good one, bro. Long time no see. I think we already saw the Bitcoin pump. As I mentioned, worst case scenario, which is actually quite bullish in my opinion, which is not really too bad. Worst case scenario is that Bitcoin breaks past $44,000 and achieves $55,000, and then we see a retrace. That would be the bullish case scenarios, but I think we've had the rally that everybody's been waiting for. I could be wrong, but I think this might be some sort of top in the market that we're getting closer into. I mean, we are in this consolidating phase, so I don't want to say that 100% by certain, but if we do go ahead and reverse and we do see, you know, Bitcoin break past $42,000, 42,700, we are more than likely going to retest 44,000, and if we do break that, which is a higher probability, we could go ahead and see some sort of Bitcoin rally leading up to $48,000 and above. But we are running at some very, very critical areas, so we have to go ahead and see if that's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see one, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we don't see one, right? As I mentioned, the DXY is entering zones where it has to reverse in order for this to be healthy in the market. So overall, we're going to go ahead and see. But if you are still watching this live stream, make sure to smash that like button for me. I see we have over 18 viewers right now watching. Really do appreciate it. 15 likes. As I mentioned, this is a little rant that we have. I will be live streaming later on today, and you will be able to share all your technical or any charts you want me to do any technical analysis on. So definitely hope you enjoyed this.